honored to celebrate and introduce them to the world. Watch them rise. Discover the leaders of tomorrow. Meet the AT&T DreamInBlack Rising Future Makers.
I'm incredibly thankful to have met every single person that I did that weekend. Everyone was so creative, driven, talented, intelligent, all in their own unique ways. I have no doubt at all that everyone's future is bright. AT&T made no mistake selecting us to be a part of this class. I truly do believe we are rising future makers. We are rising future makers that are truly shaping the now, the new, and the next.
Wow, that is so cool. It's my pleasure to welcome Angela Bergen, AT&T Director of Marketing and Communications and the founder of the AT&T Rising Future Makers program. Angela, welcome.
Thank you so much. Hey, Denise, it's so great to be here.
Likewise. I wish I was where you are. It looks like it's beautiful weather wherever you are right now. So blow a little over this way to the East Coast.
Well, I had a wonderful holiday visit to the East Coast, and now I'm back here on the West Coast and trying to channel some of that good weather.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, I mean, this is, I just love programs when corporate America partners, particularly with our HBCUs, gives them a taste of what, corporate life is all about, helps to build their aspirations. But I don't know why you started this program. I'm just telling you why I get thrilled about it. But tell me, why did you create this?
Well, I really wanted to do three things. I wanted to recognize, support, and invest. I got to tell you that one of the beautiful things about the DreamInBlack platform is it's all about celebrating the culture and the creators who help shape it. And there is no greater place where you find creators than on HBCU campuses. And so HBCUs are, only 3% of the institutions in the United States, but they actually graduate about 20% of all African-American professionals. And so we really wanted to be a part of supporting this amazing cohort. And certainly for me, my support with AT&T, it's really important that it showed up beyond those words. We wanted to go a little further and we wanted to invest. We know that in order for us to have future leaders, that we actually have to put some investment behind them. And so the HBCU Rising Future Maker program from AT&T is really designed to do just that, to recognize these amazing students who are making such an impact even before they have a degree, to recognize and to celebrate them, but to also to support them with investment. And so we are investing with financial resources, and we're also investing with mentorship and advocacy to help these students really propel their careers.
Well, the other thing too is the whole DreamInBlack part of the theme or the title of the program, because a lot of times, young people grow up in communities and we, are consumers of products, but we don't know that there are people like you, Angela, who are helping to make things happen within corporate America. And so we don't see ourselves in these places. And so is that what the DreamInBlack part of that means as well, to know that, you all are opening doors, doors have been open for you and you all are opening doors for them as well?
So beautiful and so well said. Absolutely. And so DreamInBlack for AT&T, I really wanted to create something that was going to be a movement that would live far beyond me and that would go to every corner, I hope, of the world. It's really all about celebrating what is possible. AT&T is a company that's all about greater possibilities. And so with the DreamInBlack movement, again, as I mentioned, we wanted to demonstrate our support of the community, our celebration of creators and the culture they help shape, but to help people to realize that, yes, inside of corporations, there are people who are just like me, who are out here really trying to make a difference inside of companies like AT&T and trying to create a lasting difference in our communities. And so with this DreamInBlack initiative, we're able to really empower Black communities. And I'm just so excited about what we've seen from not only celebrities, but HBCU students and Black future makers across the board. It has really been an amazing movement.
So I want you to help me to introduce 3 of the HBCU students that we have with us today from the DMV area, as a matter of fact. So can you tell us who's with us today?
Sure. We have Tyron Walker, amazing student. I mean, this is someone who has been just an honor student, someone who has an amazing capability to just engage people. I've enjoyed spending some time with him recently. We also have Kennedy Buck, who is someone who is so inspired about media that she actually created her own talk show called Sister Talk and has been doing an amazing work in the media field, again, even before she has that degree. And so we're just so excited about Kennedy. And then we also have Gabrielle. I have to tell you that Gabrielle Stewart is someone who is energized by the healthcare profession. I'm someone who also has a personal journey with healthcare, and I know that we have such an opportunity to improve the health and wellness of Black communities. And so Gabrielle has really been someone who is excited, energized, and motivated to make a difference in that area. And so these are three dynamic students that we couldn't be more proud to celebrate, to recognize, and to absolutely support.
So we've got Bowie State, Howard University, and Hampton University in the house, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Tyron, I'm going to start with you since Angela did. How did you hear about the program, and why were you interested in participating?
So I actually heard about the program through my school email. They regularly send like opportunities like this for us students to, find ways where we could, propel ourselves into the work career. And I applied to this because I liked AT&T's. I liked what they were doing with this. I think the fact that they pride themselves on diversity and inclusion, I felt like that was something I definitely wanted to be a part of. And that was probably one of the main forces for me applying to this.
And you all are seniors, Kennedy. So, I mean, you have goals and aspirations. You've got a talk show. And so tell us again why this was important, and how do you think this is going to propel your career?
So this is important because, just in the name itself, Rising Future Makers. And I just wanted to make sure that, I was recognized for my impact and for everyone else's impact. Just kind of like what Angela said, 3 years ago, I created and founded Sister Talk with Kennedy Buck and Friends. I just wanted to create a safe space for Black women to talk about everyday things that we all go through. We've talked about safe sex, our hair. And then once a year, we actually invite the men, kind of have a he said, she said, talk about relationships, kind of the different perspectives and all that. And I was proud of it because, through the pandemic, we actually kept it going. We went to virtual on Zoom. And I love that because I was able to open it to not just Hampton women, but all other HBCU women or women of all colors, older women. And I just love that. And I'm just really thankful to be a part of this. And I hope that I'll continue to stay friends with everyone in the program. Just kind of like what Ty said in his video, they could not have chosen a better group of 25 students. We all get along so well. It's crazy. And I'm so appreciative of everything that this has done for me so far.
This is fantastic. And Gabrielle, I mean, you're focused on healthcare, and you'll be graduating, I assume in May or June of this year, almost coming. Yeah. So again, I mean, talk about what your aspirations are and how this whole experience, what difference it's making in your future plans.
Yeah. So I essentially aspire to own my own health and wellness center catered towards the African American community to just educate our people more about how the body works and how eating itself can make such a positive impact on the trajectory of our health. And so with this health and wellness center, with this health and wellness center, I plan on writing meal plans and then also cooking classes and personal training classes, just so that we just have that all-inclusive experience of caring for our bodies. Because I realized that for a long time, I saw all these different diseases that were common, especially in the Black community. And then when I started doing more research about it, I realized that a lot of it can be tied to foods. And just like other areas have access to some of these resources, I feel like it should be the same within our community.
Angela, these future makers have very dynamic, I think, aspirations. I mean, they've already started on the things that they want to do in their career. But what qualifies a student to become a part of this program?
Such a great question. One, students really have to just reach out and let us know what they're doing. And so we created a place where we could really hear from students directly. So we utilize social media. And so we asked students to share a short video with us on social, talking about what they are doing to really create impact for the future, not only for themselves, but for the community. And so what we looked for in our entries was that inspirational reach. What were these students doing that could benefit, again, their communities and certainly their career fields? And so we really were interested in that. We wanted to hear directly from students on what their future opportunities and ideas were, because we wanted to be a part of supporting that next generation of future leaders. And certainly we wanted to just hear from students on their enthusiasm about being HBCU students and their enthusiasm about the future. And so those were really the simple criteria. And so this is something that this is, first of all, an amazing inaugural class. And so we're excited about having this come again next year. But students can know it is just that simple. You just simply need to get out there and share what you are doing. There are so many amazing students, but I will say, I think that we have the best inaugural class ever.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so, will AT&T do they go to the website for when's the next class going to be accepted or considered?
Sure. Well, you're going to see us celebrating Kennedy, Gabrielle, and Tyron, Ty, we call him oftentimes, throughout the entire year. So you're going to see a lot about these students. We want the world to get to know these amazing students so that their next opportunities might be from someone who's watching this show. So we want to make sure that we're investing in these students and exposing others to the great opportunities they have with these students. But our next class is actually going to be selected around the September timeframe in 2022. So you should look out for that call for entries around September 2022. And then again, students simply need to submit that short video on social media using the hashtag DreamInBlack and hashtag ATT Rising Future Maker. We'll then make our selections in October, and then that next cycle of fun begins.
So this is for anyone who wants to answer, including you, Angela. But a lot of times we have great ideas, like you said, ideas about programs or anything that's going to make a difference in our community. To be able to partner with a corporate entity, a lot of times we don't understand the business side of what we want to do. So did any of you all get a chance to see? I mean, AT&T is a humongous company. I think back, and I hate to tell personal stories, but when I was in law school, I wanted to pursue a career in international communications law. Nobody knew what I was talking about 30 years ago. And think about it, I could have been, opening a door for Angela at that point, because AT&T probably would have been a good place for me to work. Mm-hmm. But but still, there's still the business side of what you all are doing. And did you get a chance to see what that's like in a corporation, like working at AT&T, Tyron or Kennedy or Gabrielle?
I guess I'll get to say there was like a virtual kind of celebratory event for us before we flew out to North Carolina. We did get to meet like a lot of different people. Like I remember meeting Ken McNeely, and he's the president of AT&T over on the West Side, and he was just giving us insight on like what we should be doing as far as when we're seeking out employers and applying to these jobs and what they're looking for and all of that. So I think that was really cool being able to experience that.
Wonderful. And either of the other of two of you, Gabrielle or Kennedy, or even your most memorable moment, the thing that you think is going to go that you'll carry with you beyond this experience.
Yeah, so I definitely first want to also thank AT&T for selecting us again, and then also for you all having us on the show, because I think that even moments like this are the most impactful, and that's that exposure. I know specifically for dietetics, a lot of people don't know what dietetics is. And it's so important to the health and wellness of our bodies, right? Knowing the foods to eat and the science behind diseases through foods. And it was something that was actually kept out for so long from the Black population after slavery, after segregation ended. So this exposure itself does so much for our community. because we get to experience. I know I've met so many different people in different fields that I didn't even know necessarily existed with great ideas. And that alone just helps. I really believe helps our village just get stronger, because yes, it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to help sustain it. And so I think that that's exactly what the program is doing.
I love that. I love that. Kennedy, what about you? Is there a memorable moment, or is there something you experienced while you were, well, you're still in the program, so, but what are you thinking?
The memorable moment for me was meeting everyone, just meeting this group of other 25 rising future makers and just learning their passions, what they're intelligent about, just all their skills and tools, and then taking that with me as I continue to grow in my career, and just also having them as friends. Just every time I talk to one of them individually or as a group, I just leave with more knowledge of myself, more knowledge of the world. Like just knowing Gabby about the nutrition and everything, I didn't know so much about that, and she still talks to all of us about it. And just there's so many other great students who are just like her, just like Ty, who just are so intelligent and so amazing, and I'm so grateful for them.
So Angela, are you creating, or is there a portal? For example, like I said, these are seniors, so they're going to be out looking for jobs. If probably looking now for when they graduate, and hopefully there are folks that are watching. I know Dr. Sherman would love to talk to you, Gabrielle. She's going to push you towards getting your PhD, just based on what you've shared so far. But how would employers find these young people that come through this program?
Wonderful question. And by the way, I want to thank you so much, Denise, for having us. And so we appreciate you being a part of our journey and a part of celebrating these amazing students. So thank you to you and the Washington Informer for this opportunity. But you can learn more about these students at att.com/DreamInBlack. And so on our DreamInBlack microsite, you can learn all about the amazing class, these 25 amazing students who are really doing so much exciting work, who are just amazing students. Again, as I mentioned, these are people who are making tremendous strides even before they have a degree. But many of them are actually graduating. And so these are people that you would be lucky to have if you were an employer out there. And so we want you to, we invite you, that is, to learn more about these students at att.com/DreamInBlack.
So I know we need to close, but I got to ask one more question, because I'm sure, one, Angela, when you came up with the program, you weren't thinking COVID, and you weren't thinking virtual, and you weren't thinking, how you were going to maneuver in this environment that we're in. And then the three students, you all have been attending school pretty much in a virtual environment for the past year, and maybe going into it again, as you told me earlier, Tyron. So how did you have to pivot, Angela, to accommodate this pandemic crisis that we're in right now?
Well, the beautiful thing about AT&T is we're a connections company. And so we specialize in finding ways to connect. And so we have an amazing network. And so we knew that we could connect through technology. And so the first way that we, number one, discovered these amazing students was through social media. And so we utilized social to learn more about these students and to create a selection process. From there, we knew that we wanted to ensure that we could create a safe place for the students to meet each other. And not only that, but to meet with our advocates in the program. We have celebrity advocates, which include Hbcu student and two-time NBA champion J.R. Smith, Lala Anthony, and many AT&T executives. And so we created a very safe environment for them through a virtual meet and greet and a virtual advocacy session. And so that was our first session. And then we went further. Once we knew we could create a very safe environment in person, a vaccine-only event. We were able to do that on the campus of North Carolina A&T. And I got to tell you, it was just an amazing experience being together with these students, to spend some actual time with them and to certainly pour into them with all the information, tips, and support that we could.
And how have you all done this year virtually? Has it been? You sound like you're kind of taking it with ease. You've kind of gotten accustomed to it, and it's a new life experience, and it's not a big deal. Is that true?
Well, certainly we know that there's been a lot of disruption for for the world with this pandemic. One of the things that AT&T is so proud to do is we're really working hard on the digital divide, and that's really become really apparent with the pandemic. And so AT&T is doing a lot of work to support students in many ways. This HBCU program is one of those. And so you'll see AT&T out there really working to close that digital divide and those gaps for students of all kinds. And so, yes, we are working inside this environment. And so I wouldn't say it's necessarily easy, but it is something that we do really well as a connections company. And so, again, we couldn't be more proud to have connected with these amazing students, Ty, Gabrielle, Kennedy, and the 22 other students that are in this program. And thank you so much, Denise, for giving us that opportunity to share about these HBCU Rising Future Makers.
Well, my pleasure. And I wish all of you all much success. Thank you, Angela, for even coming up with the idea. Thank you, AT&T, for believing in your idea. And I wish you all the best of luck and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
All righty. Take care.